All right, guys, welcome back to the member game here, subscriber game here. So a few things have changed and some really interesting things have happened. So I want to just catch you up on everything. The first thing is this. Man, I was getting impatient with the troops here in Warburton. This is a level, it was a level 2 because I was standing right next to it and couldn't see into it. So here's what I did. I came down with what was it? 16 troops, man. And I really wish I had cast each section of this, but I didn't. I just kind of did it off camera. But what I did was I brought down 16 troops to here and then was streaming in a couple more. That's why there's 18 here. I was streaming in a few more actually to join them. And then I had 13 below. And here's what I did. I streamed them in 5 at first, right? So 5 went in. And then I had these other guys, these 8, well, whatever amount there were up here. At the time, there was like 11 more, right? Because I had 16. So I streamed in 5. They were all standing just outside, just like this 13 are. And then what I did was they went in, the 5 went in, and 2 of them died. So I sent in 3 more, figuring that between the time that, the time they were marching there, 1 more would die. And that's exactly what happened. So the 3 joined the 2 and became 5 again. Then I sent another 3 in, figuring, okay, 2 more of that 5 will die. And in fact, only 1 died. So I ended up with, no, I guess 2 did die because I ended up with 6 in there, which I was like, dang it, I missed it by 1. That means that one of my guys is not fighting with full strength. Remember, that's the idea, is that anything over 5, they're not fighting full strength, which is okay. It's not a big deal, but I was really trying to make sure that everyone, I was going to just kind of refill each time one of the 5 died or 2 of the 5 died, refill with more guys. And long story short, the reason that the second time, the first time I lost 3 before I got reinforcements there, the second time I lost 2, I go away for like a couple hours. What I do is I run chess clubs and I do math tutoring. So I'm not a nerd. But anyway, I came back like 2 hours later and this is what I see. Like I took it. Oh my God, I'm really going to start looking into this 5. I've known it for months now that the 5 are powerful. But I've also figured, throw in, send in 50. Why not? The first 5 are powerful and all the rest are kind of like waiting behind in the ranks. But the fact is, you can think of it like the front 5 are the ones who get killed, right? So they die, and then you just push forward 5 more, and, anything past, 40 is completely useless. They don't do anything. And then something like from 15 to 40 is just each additional guy basically might as well just be throwing rocks or something, his damage is so low. Anyway, I was super impressed with that. I really thought I was going to take a lot of a loss here. I wanted this territory because, I like to stream things to the front. And this guy was right here causing me to go like, hours around. And so this was a shortcut straight through here. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So super happy. A couple other things going on here. I think really hats off to Darwin. Darwin not only came down here and really took on Brisbane over here, who had kind of overextended, and we saw that he only had like 1 or 2 in some of these territories. And by the way, it turns out Brisbane is a viewer, and Brisbane said, yeah, I did overextend, but the reason I did was for resources. And I get it, man. Like there's a double coal over here. We are super poor when it comes to energy. If you don't believe me, you can look at either one of my 100 or my next 500 games that are active right now on my channel. And you'll see, because both of them, I'm in Australia. I have a thing for Australia. I really need to branch out to other things. But anyway, in both of those games, I'm struggling with getting the energy. The energy is really the trick. Now that's where Darwin has had an early on strength, because he starts off with this double coal, double oil, which is really cool. So good for him. But he also really took advantage of this country over here must have invaded east or done something, because all of these territories were very weak. And so Darwin exploited that, as any good player will, and came in and really took this quickly, which allowed him then to continue on south. And he's just been playing a great game. And here's what I love. Papau, Papau up here. We talked about this in a previous video. He comes and brings down all of his army, which is a terrible idea. If you ever have the idea that, hey, I could load all my guys on boats and go surprise someone, yeah, I mean, maybe you could surprise someone. But here's the thing. Where's your resupply? Where's your reinforcements? You don't have any. You just cannot underestimate the importance of just being able to spawn people, grab them, and send them. All my guys here, I could send, and I can grab them all and send them over to this war zone in 1/10 the time that it takes him to get into boats. It takes a long time to embark, then slowly move across the sea. You move very slowly through the ocean, and then it takes a long time to disembark, like as much as 4 or 5 hours to disembark. And at this point, there are no harbors. Of course, harbors make it so you can disembark faster, but I don't think he's got any harbors. He just came over right away, just like, get in the boats, boys, and just kind of kicked him in there, and it took forever to get all their gear and stuff on the boats. Anyway, here's what happened. Brisbane contacted me on a YouTube comment. You can go out there and find it. He says, hey, I'm Brisbane here. And what happened was Java attacked against a fort, one of his fortified positions. I don't know which one, probably a northern one up here. No, why am I looking at Rockhampton? Sorry, guys. Because here's what happened is that Cloncurry and Brisbane kind of had an alliance going. They came down together, and apparently Papua attacked into one of Brisbane's forts that may or may not be there anymore, but lost like 43,000 infantry. And, of course, each guy is worth 1,000. So I'm saying 43 in terms of, gameplay here. But that's a huge loss for Papua. It's a huge loss because nobody's coming to replace them. I'm sorry, man. Like, any reinforcements will be here in a week. Let that kind of be an object lesson. Do not ever get into your boat and take a large army to another island. Just don't do it. Unless you have real good intel that they did the same thing somewhere else, right? And you can just march in and take everything. But the only way that that's going to be a not stupid move is if they make exactly the same stupid move somewhere else. And you have to have really good intelligence that's the case. So that's really cool. And here's what I love. Darwin was aggressive. I saw Cloncurry coming down. I was like, if Cloncurry is able to cut Darwin off from Eastern expansion, that's going to be aggressive. We talked about that in a previous video. That's going to be a move of aggression. That's going to be something that we as a coalition are going to have to talk about. But Darwin was fast and aggressive. He's left himself a little bit open here, especially keeping in mind, we're going to get to this in a minute, what's going on down south. But what I've seen now is really Brisbane has really retreated, and it looks to me like Darwin's going to be able to take at least 2 or 3 more territories. And then I would say, be really cautious, especially once you get to this double wood. I don't know what's over here, but there's no fort. Gosh, I don't know. Brisbane did pretty much concede defeat during that message to me. So I would say that, again, Darwin's doing the right thing. He's exploiting what's going on over here. We can see clearly that there's nothing on the northern border of Sydney here, nothing at all. And here's why. So Sydney is conquering into our ally, Melbourne. So that's very unfortunate. Let me just show you my correspondence with Melbourne. I used to say Melbourne, but an Australian corrected me. It's Melbourne. It's Melbourne. Melbourne, mate. All right. I'm not going to say a dingo ate my baby, but I really want to. All right. So let me just show you. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. Let me show you our correspondence here with Melbourne. I went in there and I was like, hey, listen here, Mr. Cool guy. All right. So I said, okay. So congratulations on taking the island. And I have an ask for you. Split that 22 car entry and attack directly west into Apollo Bay. There was a precinct available over there, directly across into, is that Apollo Bay? It was Apollo Bay, yeah. So there was something available here before Adelaide moved down into it, and I was hoping that he could get over there and protect it. But here's the even bigger thing that I was really trying to get across, and I don't know whether he did anything at all. I don't see any movement on his behalf. But the main thing I was wanting to say was, okay, so we're starting to put pressure on Adelaide to the north. So we need to be aggressive both on the south. But here's the big thing. Finally, I need you to build a few forts where you feel most vulnerable, usually the corners of your territory. Okay, and then finally keep up good work. And then here's my last thing here. Bring your men from the island. You will need every man soon. Do not stack your west frontier. There are no troops threatening. Adelaide is worried about invasion from us in the north. Move your troops east and north. Sydney is by far the more dangerous enemy, and you are actively at war with him. You know, you guys, he doesn't have to declare war on you. And so I was really split off 10 from that stack of 13 and send them to the northeast. Gather your men from your interior territories and send them to defend that double coal. Okay, soon we'll be able to put pressure on Sydney from the north and relieve this. You're doing great. Well, here's the double coal that I was really hoping for him to send these interior territories to. And of course, this 13, he doesn't need 13 there. There's nobody on the coast here threatening him with that kind of power. He needed to move 10 of this. And by the way, there was 22 and 2 here. I don't know what happened to them. I could go and look in the newspaper, but it's really not worth it. The point being that here comes Sydney with not a lot of stuff, with about 15, 16, 17, 16 stuffs. 16 men are coming in, and they're just going to absolutely gut him. And it's very unfortunate. It really does suck. I will say this. I know who's next in line. Papua is going to be joining us any minute now. We're holding a place for him. We're at 6 of 7 power right now. But my understanding is that South Dutch Papua, is that correct? I don't want to get this wrong here on air. But I went back and checked my messages, and I'll do this. But both of these guys contacted me a day before anyone on the island over here contacted me. And what's happening here? He's expanding. Oh my goodness, sir. This is user number so-and-so. Good for you, man. Like, really, expand. I hope that's not him being conquered. No, it looks like him expanding. Okay, we'll see what... Oh, that's a fort. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, dang it. Getting out of the water and attacking a fort is probably the only thing worse than just attacking a fort. Oh boy. No, he's got 19 guys in there, and you can see that he's got 19 guys. It's not even hidden. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. It really is. But anyway, it looks like Melbourne's going down. That's really unfortunate. Darwin's kicking ass. I had this real unexpected victory over here without losing hardly anyone. So I'm super stoked about that. That means I've got about 40 guys to throw around. My first instinct was to come over here and stack this tile just in case. Seduna, who Esperance is at war with Seduna. So I was like, uh-oh, you got a little naked tile here. He could send in, 1 or 2 guys, which the AI tends to do. So I'm just sending my backcountry guys to stack here against that possible side invasion into Esperance. But I'm going to take this main stack up here of about, 35 guys, and I'm going to start sending them into the front where they can do some good. One thing in particular I'd like to do is start spanking Sydney. How dare you? I'm King Spankerton, and I will spank your bottom. I will spank your little bottom. So I think it's time to make Sydney pay for some of this business down here. Do not approve that. I think Melbourne's just been away from his keyboard, honestly, is what's going on here, which is really, really unfortunate, because I was there right before it happened saying, dude, get up there, move your backcountry guys, protect your double coal. And by the way, Sydney, I don't think you're watching this. I don't think you're one of our viewers, but if you are, good for you, man. Like, I would have taken that double coal too, especially here in Australia where we are just starving for energy. So he did the right thing, but he also left himself naked to our pact has already attacked and destroyed one of his former allies, and we're pressuring in on his other ally from 2 sides. So I don't know, buddy. But what I've been talking about lately is here comes Gascoigne, who's really been kicking butt lately. Gascoigne's been, you're going the wrong direction. He must have misclicked there. But he's been coming in with forces here to protect Darwin's border here, Darwin was able to attack. That's why Darwin was able to attack on east and keep Cloncurry from cutting us off here, was specifically because of Gascoigne coming in with all these dudes. Look how far he came. He's all the way over here, man. He's been just hiking his dudes all the way across to really be helping out where they are needed. By the way, also, he has a couple factories going, and I believe he's got a cannon rolling down the assembly line. So Gascoigne, way to go. So I know a bunch of us are starting with cannon. I am not. I'm slow to the party here. I've got 4 factories, so I'm super happy about that, but they're all just kind of building along at their happy little rate. So I'll have cannon a little bit later than everybody else. So one of the things we were talking about is Esperance, and Gascoigne here, who's sort of massing here. We're probably going to go ahead and invade down into here. It's tempting to go ahead and take these available territories from Sydney, but it's really just a matter of time. It really is. For now, I think that Cloncurry knows which way the wind is blowing. He knows if he attacks into this coalition, he's seen enough of us working together to understand that he will be forcing his own destruction if that's what goes down. So I don't feel a huge threat from there. I think we can really focus our attention to the southern area here, take out the rest of that old alliance. Papua effectively neutered himself by throwing his men against those goddamn fortifications. And by the way, if you needed additional lessons about what happens when you throw yourself into fortifications, we're about to get another lesson. Here's 30, 31, 32, 33 guys with a car against inferior defenders, and they will lose. So user number XBA 743, if you're seeing this, Nelson, just turn those guys around. It's not too late. You're just disembarking right now. You can just turn back around, get back on that. Oh, no, they're defending. They're there. Dang it. Yeah, it looked like they were getting out of the water, but they're there. Okay, and they're there as well. So really, that's one of my complaints about this game. Once you're there forever. There's no such thing as retreat. So, okay, we're gonna get to see what happens. How many has he already lost? 5 from this stack and 2 from this stack. So he's already lost 7. How many has this guy lost? None. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? That's how you learn. It really is. Oh, he's coming back the back door. I didn't see this stuff. Okay. Oh, well, into another fort. Oh, by golly. You know, you could take a fort with 43. I'm not going to lie. You're going to lose a few guys, but you could take a fort. Hey, I'm really excited about taking this fort up here. Granted, it was only level, no, it was level 2 because I could not see who was in there. I'm pretty stoked about that. Really, I'm mad at myself that I didn't cast it. I really was tempted to be like, okay, what if I cast it with the first 5, then the next 5, and then I, streamed it in. That requires me to pause the recording device and then go do other stuff and then come back to it a half hour later. And I've done a few of those, but it does take a lot of patience and time. And I just was like, I don't even know what's going to happen. I did not expect this good of results. So if you have patience and you have time, in this case, there was just one guy left in that whole country. It was just one territory and he was in my way. And I was like, I've got time, I don't really have to rush and I don't want to lose a bunch of guys just throwing them all in at once. So I tried that streaming in 5 and then keeping the 5 restocked, so to speak. And it worked really well. Okay, well, I got to get out of here. I'm taking up way too much time. But things are looking great. I am super happy about the way things are progressing. I can also say further up here that these guys are doing great. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know why I was looking at these. Sorry. So Java is about to join us. He may have already joined us because he said he was 6 hours out. No, he's not going to join us for another, I believe, 3 hours from the time I'm recording. So the next person in line is South Borneo. Okay. So, wow, couple of go-getters about to join us. And again, really sucks about Melbourne. Really sucks. And honestly, his crime is probably just being like away from the computer doing other stuff. He probably has a life, and just didn't check back because I really, really tried to get him to move at least 10 of these guys up. And then he had some stuff over here to this corner. He was, I believe he was set up across this border. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think across this border, that was his initial border. So No, it might have been he was across here, and he might have sent 11 of these guys straight up and taken this territory. Yeah, that's low morale. It looks like he took it. So, oh, he punched into Sydney. Not a terrible idea, but then if you get punched into, you've got to keep those borders tight, guys. So again, I'm partly casting this for my channel, but I'm also partly casting it for my other teammates. And my teammates have been doing a great job of keeping those borders tight when it matters, right? And so again, my friend here, Darwin, did not need to keep his borders tight because we had Gascoigne coming in and really being where he needed to be when he needed to be there. And so really allowed Darwin to kick ass eastward here. Again, though, we do need to tighten up these borders again soon. Not right now, because obviously Darwin has his attention in the south, and he's not Darwin, dang it, Sydney, and he's super happy about his victories down here, which he should be, but by God, didn't he leave this unpopulated up here? So all this stuff that we see with gray vision or with white vision, there's just nobody there. Nobody here, nobody here, nobody here, none, and that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces that we know for a fact nobody is in. Now, he's not entirely wrong, but I would even suggest that maybe, you know what, guy, if I was Darwin, I'd race down like 5 or 6 guys and take this fort. You know, if you can walk into a fort, you do it. You know, it looks like this guy's retreating out of there too. But if you can walk into a fort, you do it. It's like 5 guys walk in and become 12 guys strong, like immediately, because that's how strong you become inside of a fort, right? That's how many guys it takes to take you out. So I don't know, man. Interesting stuff. I'm nowhere in the region, or I'd be jumping on that, you know, for sure. But I have to reevaluate what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and press down into here and help Esperance and Gascoigne here in our eventual push against Adelaide. That seems the wisest thing for me to do because I can resupply directly across my allied land here instead of trying to do something way over here, way to the east, which can wait. I do worry about this southern frontier, but again, I don't blame Darwin. It's just like, hey, come get free stuff, and you're like, okay, and then you do. Like, look, he's going to take over a fortress here for free. I wouldn't be surprised to see him backtrack and maybe take over this one for free. Send in 5 guys. You know, I don't know who's here, but he's on the run. He's leaving. You know, so I don't know, man. Darwin's got some choices to make. Be careful, Darwin. Don't overextend, of course. But you've got some good stuff here. And frankly, I don't know what Rockhampton's up to. That's a player character. He hasn't expanded at all, which means he has a strong army in here. He's got probably 60 or 70 guys in here somewhere. I don't see any factories, so I don't know if he's even playing the game. Yeah, he's building some stuff, but I don't see any factories. By now, everyone should have at least 2 factories. I've got 4, but they're building slow, which I don't know. You know, I guess I didn't get as fast of a start. You know what? I didn't, because I woke up and it was factory time. And so somebody else on a different time zone might have gotten a good 4-hour jump start on me. I need to just stop sleeping is what needs to happen here. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking in. Sorry if it was too long there, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. It's a great game for our subscribers. So thanks for checking in. See y'all next time. Adios.